So in today's video, I'm going to go through the exact process of what I use to create a digital product that I can then sell so it makes me money, and then how I use email to upsell from the original purchase of that digital product to a higher ticket, more valuable offer. So how I've done this is I've created a board that you actually have a link to. Yes, I am that generous. Now, just to give you some context, I have sold this program myself about 30 different times. So the process that I go through, I've done it. It's worked. I've generated, I don't even know, tens of thousands of dollars in revenue using this exact same process. You can have it for free. Feel free to use this. I just feel like it's too valuable not to share. So what I have done is I've created this board. There's a link in the description to the video, or if you've actually just clicked this video from this board here, awesome, we're all on the same page. So this is the process that I use to sell my digital products. Now, I want to be super clear at the start. This process is essentially teaching you how to generate leads through a paid medium, right? So we're not doing it for free. We are going to create a digital asset that we sell to people instead of it being a free digital asset, okay? Why do we do that? Because we're going to be putting quite a bit of attention to people who pay for this product and compared to people who would otherwise just want it for free. The reality is people who pay for this low ticket offer that you're going to create is going to be worth a lot more, like the lead is going to be a lot more valuable than somebody who would have downloaded it for free. So an example of what I've done, right? We have this board right here. This is an outline for every e-commerce business this is an outline for every email automation that an e-commerce business should use when it comes to their email marketing, right? This board here is super valuable. It is super useful. It's packed with value, and I sell this board for $7, okay? Now, when someone buys this board, they automatically go into my sales funnel whereby I upsell them onto a higher ticket process. So to get access to this is a $12 purchase, right? So step one in essentially getting a funnel together through the use of paid traffic is to do the following. Create a digital asset that is valuable to your readers. This board here that you can actually have access to is incredibly valuable to my readers when they buy it, right? For $7, I think this board's worth hundreds of dollars, but I give it away for $7. And it's not the money, right? Like I'm not trying to make $7 here. What I'm trying to do is qualify people into my funnel, right? If I get 100 people buying this board, right? Those 100 leads are going to be worth so much more in terms of my ability to book them on a call than, say, 1,000 people who downloaded the guide for free, right? Because the people who've bought have told me, yes, Gavin, we're interested in your service. Yes, we have a problem that we're willing to pay to solve, so on and so forth, right? So I want to create a digital product because the work I'm going to put in later to actually upsell them on my main offer, which in my case is the implementation of these automations, right? So the board itself is $7, but for me to implement this, it actually costs them $5,000. And that price may have increased by the time you're reading this. So that's what I'm selling them on. I'm not selling them on the board, I'm actually selling them on the implementation of this board. But what you need to do is you need to create a digital product that is worth money, right? And you need to put a bit of work into it. So examples of that can be travel guides, recipes, how-tos, perhaps it's even an audit, right? Like book a $1 audit of my account, anything like that. And you want to make it paid. So in my example, what I've done, right, is I've created an automation and I highlight effective email marketing strategies relating to automations for e-commerce businesses. I give in-depth explanations as to why I set up the automations, the reasons behind the ways I set them out, or set them up, and I spent about 50 hours putting this document together. Now, people can literally replicate the strategy should they wish. and they would have like a kick-ass email marketing backend, right? And it would bring them a bunch of revenue. This document saves them time and it increases their sales, but to implement it, it takes them a lot of time. What I've done by giving them that board for free is, yes, I've given value up front, so I've endeared the reader to me. I've promoted myself as an expert, and I'm lining myself up with an opportunity to help them in the future. So other examples could be travel guides, recipes, how-tos, audits of any sort. You can do pretty much anything, right? As long as there's like a natural upsell from the initial offer that you have. So whether it be like, hey, I will give you 8 meal plans for free, right? If you're like a health coach or something like that. And then you could sell them on the implementation of a customized meal plan specifically for them, taking into account like their BMI, if that's even like a metric people use anymore, their weight, health conditions. That's the upsell. So you need to create a valuable product that you can sell. Once you have the product, we need to create a way to take payment for that product. And that comes through the use of Stripe. Now there's a bunch of payment processors out there, but honestly, Stripe is just the easiest. I really, really recommend you use this. And you are going to go through the following steps. Now, you're going to create a Stripe account. I'm not going to actually go through the process of creating that Stripe account, as it's very, very straightforward. But once you have your account set up, you actually want to do the following. You want to create a link that people can click to buy your product, right? So step 1, create your account. Step 2, go to your home page, click more, click payment links, right? And then hit create a new payment link just up here in the right-hand corner, right? All pretty straightforward. Keep in mind you have access to this board in the description of the video, so feel free to use it. In the products drop-down, click add new product, right? So you're gonna click to add a new product. And then you're gonna go ahead and create a new product with the price that you would like to charge. Remember, the goal here isn't to make money in the digital product itself, right? It's to make money on the upsell after the initial purchase has been made. You're not trying to make money here, you're trying to qualify people here. So for example, I charge $7 for that board. To implement that board, it costs $5,000, right? So that's the difference, right? We make our money off the implementation or the upsell, okay? So you go ahead and add your new product, you put your description in there, you add your price, make it one time, add an image in there, and then boom, you're good to go. Click After Payment tab in Stripe, so after payment. So notice how there'll be a little button here, and there'll be a type that says After Payment. Step 2, Show Confirmation Page, okay? So you wanna click that, and then you wanna replace default with custom message. And then you're gonna say, please check your email. You will have a link to whatever digital product it is that you're selling in that email. Now, if it's an audit, right, it should be like a link to your Calendly booking page or something like that. But just make sure you're delivering the product via email, okay? Step 7, get your payment link. So once this is complete, you're gonna go down to get your payment link, click more, and then click payment links. Then you have the link that you can give people that'll take them directly to that payment page. Super straightforward, nice and easy, okay? Now this next step is about changing the way that that link looks, because no one wants to click a link that says Stripe. They just don't. It's like they clearly know you're gonna ask them to buy something. It's daunting, it looks messy. You wanna change that link up a little bit. You wanna make that link look different. How do you do that? You go through the following steps. We are going to create a subdomain that redirects people to the Stripe payment link, okay? So what does that mean? You're gonna create a link that's based off your website, and on that link, it's going to say whatever you want it to do, and when someone clicks it, it'll take them to that Stripe payment page. Let me give you an example, a live example, because I'm so generous. Click here, look here. This is my Twitter profile. It says automations.inbox.co.nz. I click that, right? And then it takes me to the Stripe payment link. and it's set up exactly how we set it up before, right? $7, 12 automations for $7, nice and easy, right? That is what we're going to do. So step number one is go to where your email domain or whatever your domain name is hosted, and you're going to create a redirect subdomain. Now, I'm not going to go through that process here in this video because every single place that you host your domain is different. There's going to be a different process, but I've highlighted here how you can do it in Google Domains, and this should give you a pretty good indication as to how you can do it in your other software platforms, should you be using something like GoDaddy or HostGator or Bluehost, anything like that, right, where your domain name is hosted. So that is step 3. Step 4, you have the link, right? So you have that link, for example, it looks like mine. Where do you place it, right? So you essentially need to place that link everywhere that you're getting sources of traffic, whether that be via Twitter, whether that be via LinkedIn, whether that be via YouTube, Instagram Reels, anything like that. Wherever you're getting traffic, you want to place that link in, wherever the traffic's coming, right? So, for example, in my examples, I have it on my Twitter account. You can see it right there. I have it on my LinkedIn account. And then I also have it as a post on Twitter, right? So you can go onto my LinkedIn. We've seen it on my Twitter. It's right here. So whenever anybody sees a post from me, they'll click here and it'll take them to the Stripe payment page. Then we go onto LinkedIn, for example. We click here, and look, here it is again as well. And you click all the automations you need. Boom. So put these in your bios for your Instagram page. Put them in the bios for your TikTok page. Anything like that, right? We're driving traffic to a place that somebody can click. And the great thing is these links will be evergreen. So whenever somebody looks at my profile, they're going to see these links, right? So we put them in places that people will see essentially for as long as we keep them up, right? Here's other examples, right? Here's an example of an Instagram page that has their link there. Here's an example of a guy's YouTube channel. He has the link right here. This is where you'd place that link. Alex Hormozy has it here. Exact same thing here on Pinterest. Anywhere you're getting traffic, put that link so that people, when they check out your page, they'll see the opportunity to have that link, and then obviously give a little description as to what that link actually means. Because you can see mine here. It says, I just talk about email marketing. Get the outlines for the automations your e-commerce business needs, right? Nice and straightforward right there. Cool. Now what you're going to do is you're going to integrate Stripe with your email marketing platform, because after they pay with Stripe, we're going to give them the link to download that digital products that you've created, right? Now, there's a million different email marketing platforms out there, right? Personally, I use Klaviyo. Now, if you're like a consultant or a coach, I don't actually recommend you use that platform. I use it because it's the software that I use for all my clients. But if I were you, I would use probably something like ConvertKit. Active Campaign's really good. MailChimp is a bit of a pain in the ass, even though everyone loves to use it because it was the first one that was actually ever created, but it sucks. I don't recommend you use it. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to integrate your email marketing platform with Stripe so that you can then deliver the digital product after a payment has been made, right? The moment someone pays me for my digital product, it triggers an automation that sends them the digital product instantly, okay? Now, I've given you guides here in this document with links that take you to the page that highlights how you integrate Stripe to your email marketing platform for about 6 different of the most common email marketing platforms out there. Feel free to click these links if you are using one of these. If you are not, you will have to go and look for your own platform and look up a Stripe plus your platform integration. They're pretty straightforward, to be honest, but these kind of give you like a high-level view of how to do that. The automations themselves. So the moment somebody makes a purchase, we want to send out a series of emails. So this is essentially an outline of the automation that I've created, okay? And you're going to want to create something similar for yourself. So this is essentially using Klaviyo as a baseline in terms of finding like these triggers, these automations, these splits, and everything like that. But you will need to adjust your one pretty much according to the platform that you have. So the trigger, which is the thing, so I'm actually just going to walk through how my automation works, as well as the explanations for the emails. So the trigger is somebody making a purchase in Stripe, right? So the moment the purchase is made, that's going to trigger this automation, right? And obviously, since you've integrated Stripe with your ESP, those profiles will be passed over, right? Make sure the integration is completed before you actually do this. So if someone does, now, yeah, there's one other thing I've added as well, the filter. Tag does not equal responded. So this automation is going to continue talking to people regardless of whether they've responded to you or not. To prevent you from having two conversations going on at once, one manually, let's say like I send this email, right? I send email 1A and then they respond to that email, right? Unless we tag that profile in your ESP, your email service provider, with a tag that says we are talking to them, and then you add a filter that filters people out of the automation with that tag, unless you do that, this automation is going to keep sending people messages. And we actually have 2 follow-up emails coming out after the first one, and we don't want to have overlapping conversations, right? It would just be weird. Like email 1A comes out, hey, thank you, here's your board, because this is what the first email will do. It'll say, hey, thank you, we're giving you what you paid for. Click here if you have any questions, let me know. And let's say they respond. If we don't tag that profile to filter them out of the flow, they're going to get email 1B 4 days later. And we're going to say something like, hey, just wanted to see how you're finding that products that I gave you. Did everything make sense? Any questions? And they're going to be like, well, hold on. I've already responded to this email up here. Why would I have any questions if we're already having a separate conversation? So unless you're tagging people and filtering them out of the flow, which is what this flow filter does, you're going to have overlapping conversations. And it's not good because it's confusing. It doesn't make any sense. And you don't want to be selling somebody who has potentially already bought your upsell, right? Because that is what the purpose of this thing is here. The purpose of this automation is to, well, it's to upsell, but it's really to upsell a meeting, because you're never going to sell like a 5 or 6 or 7,000 or even really anything over $1,000. You're never going to sell that over email. You're going to sell that through the use of a phone call. And what you're trying to do with this automation after you've given them the board is to generate a phone call, right? You want a phone call to happen so that you can then talk to them, tell them who you are. Of course, they already know who you are because they found you from socials, but you do want to get on a face-to-face call. And then from that face-to-face call, you can upsell them on the main package that you sell, right? So that is what we're trying to do with these emails, get them on the phone calls, but we don't want to overlap the conversation. So the filter prevents that from happening. So email 1A, we're giving them the products that they paid for, right? Here's your link, nice and easy, done, right? 4 days later, you'll notice I have a 4-day time delay with 8:12 a.m. delay, so it's going to come out at 8:12 on a weekday. This is just from personal experience. I have found that these are the best times for engagement when it comes to email marketing. Basically, a morning send is typically the best, avoiding the weekends, and then avoiding whole hour or half hour increments, right? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10:30. Everyone is sending at those times. You want to break up the routine just a little bit and send it at a slightly odder time, which is why I've chosen 8:12 a.m. Now, this is what's worked for me, and I've tested this. Your database might be different, right? They might interact differently with your email marketing, and you might want to adjust that accordingly. So just make sure that you test your send times and you create a campaign strategy that reflects the best results from your tests, right? And delay those times for these emails based on those tests as well. So 4-day delay till the weekday at 8:12 a.m. 1B, we're just going to follow up with them, right? Once again, we're not going to make this high ticket sale from an email. The sale is going to come from a phone or a video call, right? And ideally, you want to get on a call with everybody who has purchased your digital product, right? Like everyone I've sold my digital product to, I would love to get on a phone call. Why? Because they're qualified leads, right? They have a problem that I know that they have, because why else would they have bought my product? They trust me because why else would they buy my product? And they have money to spend on solving this problem because why else would they have bought my product, right? So we're trying to get them from basically the initial purchase, whatever your low ticket item is, to that call, right? And I just try and get them on that call, right? I just say, hey, XYZ, how did you find those automations? Did everything make sense, right? Nice and easy. Then after a 4-day delay again, I get a bit more forward with my intentions, right? In email 1C, I offer the reader a free consultation. For me, this consultation relates to email marketing, but for you, it'll probably be different, as we probably do not work in the same space. Now, some of you are like, oh, I don't want to offer free stuff, right? It's like a waste of my time. The reality is, I'm okay offering a free XYZ to these people, right? Because these people are qualified. They've already paid me money. Now, I wouldn't offer free consultations to my entire following on all my social media accounts, right? Because there's going to be a shitload of time wasters in there. But for this audience, people who've paid me money, I am more than happy to give away my time for the chance to upsell them or cross-sell them on a higher ticket item, right? So here I just say something very, very simple, right? I just say, hey, XYZ, whatever their name is, I have a bit of time free up in my calendar this/next week. As a thanks for buying my journey maps, I want to offer you a free strategy call. We can talk about anything and everything email marketing. If you're interested, just let me know by responding to this email and we can set up a time, right? So all they have to do is respond to the email and then we can set up a time to chat. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to get them on the phone call. Now, this automation is quite short. It's only 3 parts. Once the prospects have gone through this sequence, I then recommend actually just adding them to a regular campaign strategy and keeping them informed on a regular basis. After my prospects leave this sequence here, they go into another funnel that I've created that's actually just a 24-week sequence of emails, right? And it's just giving value, information, and then basically at times trying to restart that conversation. You can build this sequence out to be a lot longer if you want, and honestly, it's probably not a bad move. But I've only left it at 3 parts, right? So, nice and easy. That's how we do it. That's how we get the email stuff. Now, step 7 is the traffic, right? How are we going to get the traffic to our offer? Now, if you're reading this, or rather watching this video, I'm assuming you already have some sort of audience. Now, full transparency, I've only done this strategy using Twitter and LinkedIn. I've only got 1,000 followers on Twitter and then 2,000 followers on LinkedIn, but I've managed to move some solid numbers with just that small following. You can literally use this strategy and paste this, essentially the link that we created, anywhere and everywhere. I've given some highlights in terms of where you can put it in terms of YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos. I've given you my examples for Twitter posts. We are now going to be promoting the offer, right? So before, where we created that link and we added it to our bio, that's just going to be there forever, right? But now we're going to start talking to other people and promoting this offer to our audience, right? Before, where we have the link just here, right? Link's just here. It's just sitting there. Cool. If someone comes across my profile, awesome. But now we want to start pushing it out to our audience, which is how we use TikTok Shorts, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and we start talking about that offer. You'll notice here I have this post right here that's talking specifically about the offer that I have, right? You're going to push the offer out as much as you can in like a short window of time. I promoted my offer just over like a week, and we managed to sell 30 of the boards, and we're still getting sales pretty much every day from it, right? Just because the link is static there. But you want to push it out either through the use, whatever medium you are using already, that's where you want to push it out. I don't recommend like starting up a whole new approach. Like, oh, okay, I do TikTok and LinkedIn. I'm going to go do YouTube and Instagram as well. My approach has always been pick 3 mediums that you can be consistent at for 3 to 5 years. And if you can find those, sick, that's the ones that you want to focus on. So push those out on pretty much all platforms. And that's pretty much it. You have your offer. You can drive traffic to it, and then you can then upsell people on that offer for higher ticket items. This works really well for me. If you want any more tips or if you want to learn a little bit more about how I do this, just shoot me an email. You got it right there. Thanks for watching.